only humans have free speech. Bots don't have free speech. The tech companies are constantly confusing us about this issue because the issue is not the humans. The issue is the algorithms. And let me explain what I mean. If the question is whether to ban somebody like Donald Trump from Twitter, I agree this is a very difficult issue and we should be extremely careful about banning human beings, especially important politicians, from voicing their views and opinions. However much we dislike their opinions or them personally, it's a very serious matter to ban any human being from a platform. But this is not the problem. The problem on the platform is not the human users. The problem is the algorithms, and the companies constantly shift the blame to the humans in order to protect their business interests. So let me unpack this. Humans create a lot of content all the time. They create hateful content, they create sermons on compassion, they create cooking lessons, biology lessons, so many different things, a flood of information. The big question is, then what gets human attention? Everybody wants attention. Now, the companies also want attention. The companies give the algorithms that run the social media platforms a very simple goal: increase user engagement. Make people spend more time on Twitter, more time on Facebook, engaged more, sending more likes and recommending it to their friends. Why? Because the more time we spend on the platforms, the more money they make. Very, very simple. Now, the algorithms made a huge discovery. By experimenting on millions of human guinea pigs, the algorithms discovered that if you want to grab human attention, the easiest way to do it is to press the fear button, the hate button, the greed button. And they started recommending to users to watch more and more content full of hate and fear and greed to keep them glued to the screen. And this is the deep cause of the epidemic of fake news and conspiracy theories and so forth. And the defense of the companies is, we are not producing the content. Somebody, a human being, produced a hate-filled conspiracy theory about immigrants, and it's not us. It's like a bit like, I don't know, the chief editor of the New York Times publishing a hate-filled conspiracy theory on the front of the first page of the newspaper. And when you ask him, why did you do it? Or you blame him, look what you did. He says, I didn't do anything. I didn't write the piece. I just put it on the front of the New York Times. That's all. That's nothing. It's not nothing. People are producing immense amount of content. The algorithms are the kingmakers. They are the editors now. They decide what gets viewed. Sometimes they just recommend it to you. Sometimes they actually autoplay it to you. Like you chose to watch some video. At the end of the video, to keep you glued to the screen, the algorithm immediately, without you telling him, the algorithm, without you telling the algorithm autoplays some kind of video full of fear or greed, just to keep you glued to the screen. It is the algorithm doing it. And this should be banned, or this should at least be supervised and regulated. And this is not freedom of speech, because the algorithms don't have freedom of speech. The person who produced the hate-filled video, I would be careful about banning them. But that's not the problem. It's the recommendation which is the problem. The second problem is that a lot of the conversations now online are being overrun by bots. Again, if you look, for instance, at Twitter X as an example, so people often want to know what is trending, which stories get the most attention. If everybody is interested in a particular story, I also want to know what everybody's talking about. And very often, it's the bots that are driving the conversation. Because a particular story initially gets a lot of traction, a lot of traffic, because a lot of bots retweet it. And then people see it and think, they don't know it's bots. They think it's humans. So they say, oh, lots of humans are interested in this, so I also want to know what's happening. And this draws more attention. This should be forbidden. Bots are very basically, you cannot have AIs pretending to be human beings. This is fake humans. This is counterfeit humans. If you see activity online and you think it's human activity, but actually it's bot activity, this should be banned. And it doesn't harm the free speech of any human being because it's a bot. It doesn't have freedom of speech.